Katawa Shoujo V1.3.2 MMXV for Leap Studios. I totally forgot what's the numbers of the Romans numbers for the letter M. Sorry. Okay, for Leap Studios. There is, guys. Welcome to Katawa Shoujo. My name is iPhong, and every time I try to look for games on Steam, this appears. I'm not gonna lie, Katawa Shoujo appears in the recommendations, and this game is free on Steam. So I'm curious what this game is about. I know nothing about this game, so please don't spoil me in the comments, okay? I really want to enjoy this game. The only thing I got, I don't think it's a spoiled, but in the Steam page, the store page, there's a girl with blood on her face. So it's going to be like Doki Doki Literature Clubs, but yeah, something's going to happen later on, isn't it? And also, for some reason I cannot record this game with full screen. I try to use display capture, and I also try to use individuals game captures and window captures on the recording as well, and yeah, it didn't work, so I have to stick with small windows with borders. So yeah, let's start. Also, for those who having non-living thoughts or depressions, please make sure that your mentals fully prepare before watching these videos, okay? I have zero knowledge. I know nothing about Katawa Shoujo, and the only thing I noticed is there's characters on the store page that have blood on her face, so it's gonna be like Doki Doki Literature Clubs. What Doki Doki Literature Club and Katawa Shoujo have in common is they are both free on Steam. So I'm worried, okay? Also, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus is not free, so yeah. Okay, a light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summers. I'd say winters because of the tree snow. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy for out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winters, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hand and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Hisao. Just how long am I expected to wait out here? Anyway, I'm sure the note says 4 PM, 1600. Ah yes, the notes slip between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as a cliche go, I'm more of a fan of the letters in the lockers, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflake silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seems like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a bit. It's a voice I listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turned to face this voice, the voice of my dream, and my heart began to race. Is that me? Ivanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Dang it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A Shoujo smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I try. Okay, what's going on here? My heart is pounding now. That's a scary way of heart pounding. Your heart pounds so hard that the whole skies turn red. Also, I check this visual novel is over 500 megabytes, but I think there's no effects that makes my recording apps OBS slightly angry, but I think I still be fine. My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. I really like when visual novels doing effects like snowfall or rainfall. But yeah, my old laptop is the one to blame. So here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Ivanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rises herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily throws her long dark hair around her fingers. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force her a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you go out with me. I stand motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cord feels like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which should open in terror. Hisao? The beating in my chest suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter skies, Ivanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Ivanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Are we heading to the opening theme? For Lip Studio presents Katawa Shoujo. Inspiration writer. The illustration art is pretty, but I wish like more for the visual novels, like having a character standing in front of you. So far, like the dialogue is just nothingness, but the art illustrations that I can see there's the boys and the girls, but then it's just background art with snowfall. Okay, so you show me needles thingy. Is this going to be related to some kind of drugs thingy? Drugs topic? I really like the art already, the way of the clock ticking. I know absolutely nothing about these visual novels. Please don't spoil ahead in the comments down below, okay? Just let me know what you think about these visual novels. But don't spoil ahead, alright? It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh, you have a very bad heart attack. In the whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. I really like this style. I really like having the style that when you being a narrator, that you can actually read the visual novels like it's a novel. like reading a book. But I also like the style of having like a dialogue box down, and you can read like what's on the character's mind. In the whole time, I can probably count the time I left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you left alone with your thoughts, so I have plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A recognition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I have it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhage apiece. I had already had full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, this isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatment. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I like to live in. The doctor and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'm able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me that to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries works. So I eagerly observed the scar that those surgery had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now. I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the story. That was what my life was like. The day became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I paused in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had to set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside, just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's now a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his paper, then setting them aside as if to make the point. of pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks at me in the eye for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? So I am Hisao. I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Oh god, that's a lot worse. I like it already. The absolutely long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Ataxia, asthma, dizziness. Okay. This is insane. Side effect, adverse effect, contraindications, and doses are listed flying up the line with gold precisions. Heart blocks. 125 mg, 12 hours. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it, attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life every day? I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confident booster is that? I have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows is ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount, however. I don't think that it is wise for you to be without supervision, Chu. At least not until we are sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about the transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and it's only for a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students lives on the campus. Oh, I hope that school is not haunted. Think of this as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence is a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise the fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'll like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, why it's not the same one. A special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students, they are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disabilities. One of my colleagues say in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by the disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something is so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of question now. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I missed it. I want to protect. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock, fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, but something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now is futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctor, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. difficult. But let me try. A clean state isn't a bad thing. That's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I try to see what my new life will look like. Oh. Act 1. Life expectancies. Okay. Bundle of his sound. The gate looked for too pompous for what it was. So that's school, huh? In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black router, iron, and grey plaster assembled into a hope that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looks like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked toward the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorm, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like green and hygienic pops into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off, stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about school. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real and caused by my expectation of the school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish that there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to do something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospital again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a common color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gates bother me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life that I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. The illustration is so pretty. Also, this game is square. It's not in full screen like rectangulars. And I have no problem with it. As long as the illustration looks completely pretty. Ottoman with the posters notice me as I enter. We are only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. There we go. We have characters in front of my face talking to me. You must be Nikki? Nakai. So is Nakai Hisao? So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teachers. My name is Muto. Welcome. I wonder if the Katawa Shoujo was inspired by Misao because it's Hisao. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teachers are saying. Oh god. Can I right click? Oh, that's so weird. Oh, there's a save. Thank you so much. Create new save state. Progress successfully saved. Oh my god, it's so weird. Okay, text history. I'm gonna assume that is a backlog. Show image. Nah. Playtime. Man, the intro reading is 22 minutes. Current scene, gateway effect. Current music track. The soundtrack is good so far. Illustrations and opening videos is awesome. Okay, let me return this. Okay, do you want to introduce yourself to class? Well, yeah. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of the attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Like, you're new to the school, I feel like you have to introduce yourself so like other people should know who you are. But at the same time, I have to agree because that when you introduce yourself, there's gonna be some types of people will make a joke out of you, and I dislike that. I'm probably one of those people where I guess I should be the one who give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. I really like when the visual novel illustration, like they drawing the angles of going up the stair, drawing the angle of the hallway, drawing... I mean, I soon gonna get into the classroom, right? I really like the detail, like it makes the audience who read this visual novel is feel like they are into the game, into the visual novel, into the story. My heart is pounding in my chest and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. I really like it when game developers trying to they already have their maps in their mind, and then they trying to illustrate every single angles inside the building and outside the building. I really like it. The third door or down the third floor corridor is marked as a classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. What the heck? The painting is ugly. Get rid of it. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitated for a split second at the doors, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point of worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Oh, look at... I want to try. Let's see what show image is for. Oh, it's for that. Okay. Alright, so let me try to right click again. I follow teachers into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious cases of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious and the ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and highs. Old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with the metal frames. Simple and efficient. I start walking in front of the school classroom and face the other students. They all look normal like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? Because it's a boarding school, it's a nursing school, it's a school that most of these students they disable. Look at this guy. They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I noticed that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Oh, I do see your bandage. What Okay. This has to be a parody of Peter Griffin, the Family Guy. Despite the natural tendencies to listen when someone's talking about you, I tuned out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduced me to the class. I noticed a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? Then she peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute, so is the cheery looking girls with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hand, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. Oh. I cringe a little but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai. Oh, okay. Oh, Nakai Hisao. I don't know, is this a localization or is how Japanese people calling to each others. Okay. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This exactly like every cell introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones, barking along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged thumb. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that we give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yes, fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's a class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow, the teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh right, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Or Hakamichi Shizune. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Yeah, like Japanese people call each other with last name to be respectful. But again, usually Japanese name they start with last name first and then their first name. And the localization they try to make it that's the first name first and then go to last name. I want to respect Japanese culture, so yeah, I'm just gonna call you by last name, but if there's anything that need to be called by first name, then so be it. And also if there's a full name, I'm going to try my best to figure out to name the characters with last name first and then later first name. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to see you. It's nice to meet you. Oh my god, okay. I'm not gonna be rude because it's a boarding school, it's a nursing school, it's a school for disabled, so I'm not going to be rude. Okay, so there is no voice actress and voice actors here. What I'm caught, I caught off guard by her laughters. It's nice to meet you too, but huh? I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi, she's Chan. Okay, I'm gonna call you Misha. I really like it when the dialogue box they cross out the name. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her and the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledged my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair. A pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles at and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like you'll be able to talk to people and who better to explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shichan. Shichan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new students, aren't you? Well, Shichan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Oh, so you're the new student, aren't you? So that is she asking. And this Misha answers. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew that there was going to be a new students, but we didn't know you would be here today so soon. Hichan, right? Hichan? Yep, it's fit, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like Hichan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that she's a class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. I really like to have the character names in hair colors. So Shizune is the blue hair girls, and Misha is the pink hair girls. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. So that is her response. Misha stumbles with the hardwood bit, making a stick out in her otherwise fleet translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you are going before you go there, not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store, really, Shichan. Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in the shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hits me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed the test. Alright. Oh, and another thing. You don't have to go Shichan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shichan. You blushing. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. She blushing. I know there's gonna be girls who are into me. Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, and so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess. Alright, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shichan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glanced at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Yeah, because you blushing. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finished it with a few weeks earlier than anyone else in the class. Despite our late starts, Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish. Not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling at the end of the period. Time for lunch. Oh my god. I feel like this school is haunted. Because you look ugly. I mean, it may be an art style, but god, I dislike this painting at all. But if it's a horror game, I'll let it pass. If it's a horror vision of what I let it pass. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exteriors. I'm not gonna lie, the illustration looks so good. I wonder if behind the scene they do some rotoscope or something. Because the art style reminds me of 100 meters, the animes that had God, I totally forgot which studios who was responsible for that. I think like it's something Mountain. Rock and Roll Mountain? Let me know in the comments down below. Correct me, okay? Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gates. It's a cafeteria. Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice! It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portion measures with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to the tables, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the points escape me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite. Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guys, so you should ask if there's something. I wonders. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, this we need save. Alright, create new save state. Let's return. I really want to ask about Shizune's. No mean to be rude or anything. I just want to ask about it. Okay, it's not me being rude. I just want to know about Shizune. Okay. Shizune introduced me and I kind of wanted to ask something about her. But I can't really ask something about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. So what's the point on using it as an option? Misha and Shizune sang back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice a conversation inside is not enough to fill a silence. We arrived in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Oh god. Okay, the dog-haired girls I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha splashes into the room with the elegance of the rhinos. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tensions all the way from here, as if she was slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to the seat and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teachers. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brains remember how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that make me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberations, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We got to hurry already since there is a lot of work for us to do. You find your way around here, I'm sure it. Wait, the teacher said I have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out on the senior classroom in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smallest building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' office. They even have swimming pools. It's for rehab abilities, you know. It's for the rehab swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hichan. It's for physical therapy, of course. It's for rehab. There's a type of swimming pools that I don't know. I mean, yeah, the swimming pools for rehabilitation is still deep, but at the same time, please not too deep, okay? Because something is going to happen and accident may be going to happen, so they have to make sure that there's always supervisions at the swimming pools for rehabilitation. So yeah, swimming pool is still deep enough, but I hope it's not too deep because accident may happen, you know. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Oh god. If the game developers behind the scene do a Rotoscope's Pork Jam, I'm not gonna lie though, it looks so realistic. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. The shading too as well. I know like it's annoying to you guys and girls who watching this. They only getting into the stories, but I feel like I should be appreciate more on the art and the shading. Look at the shading. It's so real. It feels like they do some rotoscopes and they taking pictures and then they go back to the studios and they start to illustrate. Wow, like, and this game is free on Steam. And yeah, like without voice actor, without voice actress, and this game is slightly over 500 megabytes. I'm gonna assume that if they hire voice actors and voice actress, there's gonna be a lot of recording will be inserted into the visual novels, and it's gonna make like around 4 or 5 gigabytes. And I mean, it's still totally fine for those who have low-end laptops or low-end PC. But I feel like, God, the art style is amazing. Just accept that portrait picture though. That one looks totally creepy. But if it's a horror visual novels, then I can totally understand. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On the white door on the left there is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and it smells strange. A friendly looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. God, it looks so real. The illustration looks so real. There definitely has to be a rotoscope working behind the scene. There has to be. And I really hope that there's behind the scenes in the extra, but I guess not, because yeah, this revision novel is slightly over 500 megabyte, and if you have to merge all the behind the scene and the voice acting into the visual novel, it's gonna have a large file size, right? The room is not large and it's strange. A friendly looking man turned around his office chair to face me as I entered. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there, what can I do for you today? He's a young looking and sort of abrupt, but the dimples in his cheek wash that impressions away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard these very same questions 100 times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by the name, or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student and my homeroom teachers told me to meet and to come and meet you. My name is Nagai Hisao. His eyes lights up with a revelation and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nagai. I was just reading your files in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestured me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facility available, mostly physical therapies and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24 hours nursing staff. Well, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His jokes feel so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Is it a joke or real? Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at school. You get used to it. I'm not sure I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now let me just find your file again. While he searched it for something from his computer and shuffles stack of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's an epitome of generics, I like to say. Big walls and ceiling, dark grey laminate flooring, and all the equipment you expect from a school nurse office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all 4 walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws thick files from stack of similarly thick files and open it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sport, rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? I feel like people who have heart disease should not do too much sports. I mean, if they want, they can, but just do light sports. Because heart disease, like, you know, like if they do sport too hard, then their hearts may feel painful, you know. He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Oh well, I play soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. True. Heart disease. So, refrain from doing sport that is too physical. Okay? Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow. But really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning a passion for a sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. True. Was there a previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glanced at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you know would do you good. Would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. True, that's why I said. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming maybe? There's a pool here. That's true, there's swimming pools for rehab. So I was told you were very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his fingers to emphasize the point. No need really, I've heard that this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risk. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my paper one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need anything. Need something. I'm not sure out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorm. Everyone seems to know where they're going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? She goes away too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I stretch towards the dorm, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorm, strawberry flowers and that overbearing smells of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. They really have to do rotoscope behind the scene. Like, why is the art feel so realistic everywhere? Room 119. Despite the ornate exteriors, the inside of the dorm is very new, functional and boring. Just like the main building. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs, and the same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I put my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the televisions. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. It seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's pretty fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, a small corridor branches off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? And from inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought this door had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh god. Dude. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is this? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our nose almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Nakai Hisao. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightened in realization and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup dude, the name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's ready hands and shake it. Still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehemence of welcome. There was some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Cause they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of someone to respond. I say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're brave man, Hisao. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Dang, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope it's not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backward to dodge it. Yeah, he's weirded me out. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle and shuts the door behind him. Ooh, that sound effect make my heart goes a little bit scared though, but I can actually calm myself down by reading the dialogue box. I slide the key into the locker after the door marker 119. I swear to God, the illustration, everything looks so real. There has to be some rotoscopes behind the scenes. I know it's annoying to you guys and girls talking about the art background, keep praising the games, but I feel like you should appreciate what the game developers has to offers to us. And also, this visual novel is free, and I didn't expect that this visual novel to be this good, and it's free as well. Also, before that we had Doki Doki Literature Club, and it's also free, and it's also had a good illustration, has some lighting on particles, details that I really like. But come on man, I cannot believe that how far the game has become. Also, I really like the 2D art style, but Rotoscope art style, I feel like it's on top of the world. But again, visual novels, a lot of people just not only just reading the visual novel for the storyline, but a lot of people just want to GOON the characters. So that's the reason why like a lot of people who read the visual novels would prefer 2Ds. But I feel like having background art becoming rotoscope, it's not that bad. Trying to bring more realism to the visual novel and game, would you? Big walls, white linen, and decks made of some types of light wood. Ugly curtain. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging in there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi Hichan, we unpack your things and make your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problem, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Yeah, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hope that I will help, then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I had to stand up. Maybe it's a stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Dang, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the libraries. Yeah, I do that. But for now... The bottle of medication neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. God. Try not to get the overdose, okay? Or else you're gonna have a painful futures. The bottle of medication neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside and then read the clue on pharmacy labels. Nagai Hisao. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted, having your life depends on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With aside, I began my new daily ritual of taking the right numbers of pills from each bottle. Be careful to check the correct dosage. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. After that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. And night comes. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draws across my room like fingers. The sheets now feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the shades of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep tripping further away from the world I knew. I really like it when the visual novels do eye catches like this. Alright, we still in Act 1. I wake up in the strange room. Solemn morning light shimmers against the light grey ceiling. I have forgotten to draw the curtain close at last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room? This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be like the one living here. My bag is on the floor, my new school books are on the desk, my numerous medications on the night tables. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open the bottle, shake out a pills and pops out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniform are in the closet. I slip out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smells of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school, except for the people. I think back to my talk with Genji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's sweeping sign language gesture. Well, I only met 3 students so far, maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure the others are. Or perhaps people like them or what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass and phone number around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. After class, the questions remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha's, who looks more preoccupied with trying to crack the eraser of her pencils down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Misha, I need your help. What is Shizune saying? Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hi-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with doing drivers. So, you actually transfer at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hichan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts singing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an ugly, grandiose flourish and starts singing hard and heavy. She looks so cool. Oh. Who cares? Misha pops out her chest and as she shouts, Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud, I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Humans being involved with each new generation. The ideas and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prize. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palms like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without care. We are in the middle of class and we should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. Hi-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing trick out on me, but I think I saw suspicions glaze exchange between them. Mr. Tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have there in mind when something dark fluttered in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eyes, I see girls with long dark hair get up from her decks and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who also looking at the dark-haired girl. Why doesn't he say anything? Hi-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, after the girl who left? No, nothing. Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay. Okay, Hi-chan, perfect. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girls with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thoughts into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all of our works on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hi-chan. Impossible. Really? Really? I noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hand and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hand and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that night my that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions over prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flashed dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hichan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hichan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I have almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain, well, I guess. At my old school, I like to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place there to eat there here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha push me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoor. I saw some of my classmates had box lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So Hichan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Hichan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging a little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech. Hichan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Hichan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hichan, it's a really popular club. Sad. So can we go home club? Actually, cannot, because there is a boarding school, it's a nursing school, so back to the dorm club. Okay, but more to the point, Hichan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great, Hichan, really great. Why is so great? No reason. But Hichan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is only one other thing. Student council. I see. I didn't know that school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though. Just tell me that. I'm pretty sure that the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Yeah, you're blushing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in the manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice, whatever she said. Right. Hichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Naze. Well, for one, we could hang out every day. Hichan, Shichan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shichan is the president. I'm starting to get the suspicions that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Of course, we are not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to. So you're admitting that? No, I mean nothing. I mean, Hichan, of course it would be nice if you join, and we appreciate it. But even with that or that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in working one school. Yep, it's true, Hichan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hichan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this just really good acting. Both of them seems to be trying hard to look their cutest, Although they are already pretty cute to begin with. Well, so instead of that, welcome to the student council, Hichan. I said nothing! What? No, no. See, Hichan, of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right, though it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Hichan owes me a candy now. You were paying on it. Hey, my life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. That's interesting, Hichan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hichan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, this is my goal, but what this means is that both you can team up and be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. Season is sad. It's very offended. Are you saying that you don't trust us and that we would put something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry. It's hard to tell where Season influence ends with Misha's thoughts begins. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student councils. Yeah, I feel forced here. No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? No. Okay, no. Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past the post that the other players makes with their fingers. Isn't that cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. And it also played by elementary and middle school children, Hichan. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know that, Hichan? Because you two girls are forcing me to join the student council. Just like in Doki Doki Literature Club, there's literally 4 girls. Monica, Natsuki, Sayori. Crap. Yuri? Monica, Yuri, Natsuki, and Sayori. They forced me to join the literature clubs. And then, like, you had to write an essay, and then horror stuff happens. Shizune fronts Amisha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even know anybody who was a member, so it impressed me. I'm also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Icha, how about Risk? The game of world domination. I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hichan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. So like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Shichan? We can play just for fun, Hichan. Shichan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no string attached. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We see you after school in the student council room then, Hichan. Why there? Because that's where we keep the game. You're scheming something. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but there is more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. No chance if we go back to class. Okay, you if there's anything you want to say, then just say it. You don't need to like sneak behind the door or like. I don't think she's stalking me though. She's just trying to say something, but she's shy. But also, like, I just realized that the art style from the visual novel is different from the art style that on the store page. I really like the art style from the store page because yeah, but I also feel like okay, I can accept the art style of the characters in the visual novels. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without words. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Michelle about it, but I don't want to be nosy. At the school season end, Michelle quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to this cell. What's wrong, Hichan? That's right, we're just going to play games of risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play a game, they tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seems literally silly. That's not true, Hichan. Hichan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha sang something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hand behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha's springs deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and smaller desks prominently placed in the back of that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well, extra perhaps. Aside from the table and chair, the room doesn't have much else to offer, just a couple of filling cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty big room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I managed to ask why that's the case, Shizune clasped her hand together with very energetically. Hichan, let's play risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you why we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filling cabinets and throws it on the tables. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while trying to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the tables to get my attention. Hichan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Hichan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no string attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shicha admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the words means or how it's signed. I don't too. So she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memories. Oh, because it's a complicated word and they have to use a sign language, so it's gonna be hard to explain. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gesture. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Oh wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Hi-chan? Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Why is she mewing? This girl is mewing. Those eyes of hers shines with childlike mischief. Oh god. There's choice already. Save. Great new state. Yeah, I have to do this every time because if there's anything goes wrong. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this, so no you won't. I don't know though. Alright, let's play defensive. Let's be smart about this, but again, what if it's a trap? Yeah, it's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. It's likely that she's just trying to cinch me out. Okay, at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up. I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. She adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively form a fist in the air in celebration. I think like both choice to lead me to lose the game anyway. Hi-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, not me. Gaining control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you had more guts. How disappointing. Ambitions, Hi-chan, you play needs to be more daring. Ambition. Damn, you unhappy about this, huh? So like, do you want me to be in the studio console or not? I mean, you get what you want the game. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched it to playing defensively just because you get a small advantage. That's no good, Hi-chan. You didn't take enough risk, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hi-chan. Dang, why is to her if I play too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you even be any good for the student consoles. But okay, here's the thing, you girls, you want me to join the student console, but with the condition that you beat me and you got what you want. If the way that you said that you don't want me to be a student console anymore, then okay, I'm gonna go back to my dorm. I wonder if you may even be any good for the student console. What's this, a reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that state. Not in that case. Give it up just like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizune trying to talk me into joining the console? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day and I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet, and these two, they are a little weird. Fine, I consider joining the console, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, Hi-chan? You're just saying that just to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure what that I want to. Okay, Hi-chan, but we are not going to give up so easily. You say maybe there's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more risks and maybe one day you could beat me. Unless you will graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining you now. Surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game then, to give you a handicap. I may have said that just to make you feel better after all. That's cool, Hi-chan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratched her head and gestured at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. I mean, I know you're deaf, but I want you to just sign the language already. You like me, don't you? It should be unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shichan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No, thank you. It's okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. We fly up stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a copy of the third floor one. Why, of course, I'm playing like only hallway can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with the signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of others unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either though, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open or nothing else. It would make sense for a library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for direction no matter how embarrassing that is. I instinctually push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at the moment notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can be shaken from my mind so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, truth though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head now over further aside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh, blondie girls! You look pretty! You look so pretty! What are you doing here? This is not as I was expecting. Mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of solitary figures taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation still my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seem to break the silence rather than words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separated from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I ever laid eye on, but even among the foreigners I met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step toward another seat opposite her. The girl's resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movement with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenchi. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, one which I hesitate to match before realizing the futility of the actions. I'm Lily Sato, pleased to meet you. Hisao, Nagai Hisao. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep a step up with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind of nod. Taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps up the chairs and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems not to be process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of her preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Oh gosh, she tall indeed. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library, Shizune and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacups indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi. As are most students, to be with them means you are in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives her a smoky giggle before sitting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the tables, teacups and saucer in hands. He's quite a character. I imagine you come to like him most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of the coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. I'm a coffee person too. I like coffee more than tea, but I can do some matcha. I tried to drink tea before, but I feel like I'm a coffee person. I also agree that tea is more healthy than coffee, but I like coffee. I miss a coffee. I mean, I'm Vietnamese. I know how popular coffees in Vietnam is. Like, I would highly recommend people should try egg coffee. Don't worry about the cholesterols. It's really good. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. Egg coffee is the goat. Alright? Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be harder to choke down. Also, when you drink coffee, always make sure that you mix well, okay? Egg coffee especially, mix well. To make the flavor mix in together, you have better experience. Alright? Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly wipes her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well, I guess I should try to ask her about herself. As it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and it's specifically for both blind and partially blind students. Oh, it's good to have class like that, to have class full of students that are partially blind or blind, so it's easier for teacher to communicate them with sign language or with yeah, I don't think sign language because they're blind, they cannot see the sign language. But what they can do is do the braille, the dot language. The braille. I see. I'm sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the first pass, looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems, or to ready to jump ship from these particular topics, I seek into another's. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here very often during lunchtime. My duties as a class representative don't leave enough time for an official club. So and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, her. Compared to Suzune, her mannerism seem to be almost completely opposite. While Suzune blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for less biased view of the school clubs. What kind of clubs are you there to join? What kind of clubs are they to join? The more popular one are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club and the book club and in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs. At the time when I just wanted to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems like slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join club? It isn't, though it's encouraged. Good, that's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. That fact seems to slightly amuse her. Now wanted my tea get go, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Dusk comes. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry. Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looked like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Hisa, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for too long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library is still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think of it. It's probably something I should have asked Suzune when I had a chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get here. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasures. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skill fail me, which they seem to have a bit a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight retractable chain that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Oh, it was a stick for this. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, where Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallways on the way to the libraries. Side by side, my pace carefully slow to match her. We slowly walk through the hallways. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the centers of the floor rather than in the wings. You look different. The portrait pictures look different. Lady first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gestures, taking the list as we pass in. To the left is a wooden library counters, with the library proper being on the right. It's easily dropped my old school's library with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone probably either in the school grounds or dorm. Yuko, are you there? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter tugs against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah. Oh, you look pretty! The librarian, you look so pretty! The original apparently librarian quickly crawls out and bounces up to the extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a falling attempt to sound casual as she's rubbing up the back of her head. Good afternoon, what happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, it's okay, sorry for making you worry. This is nothing, I had what happened to me. She quickly reversed Lily's apologize, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counters. Guess worst thing can happen, huh? Worst things have happened. The girl's features with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expressions, and then she shuffles some papers around the counters for no reason. A little shorter than Lily's, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit our library perfectly. Lily, did you get my message? Message, Oh, the two imported books that arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I missed her celebration, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She noticed me from the corner of her eyes and frees up on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between the moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right, Hisao, pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name up in her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges her to import foreign books in Braille for me. Yeah, that's a language that I use for blind people, the Braille. And for the sign language is for the deaf. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of an abject terror. Please Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How is any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But so there are lots of books in Braille here. I attempt to set the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as you can seem to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about the third and fourth of the Yamaku's libraries is either in Braille or audios. Yeah, because it's a nursing school, it's a boarding school. It's the special school for disabilities, and they need the Braille language. And for those who, for those who blind, they can use the audio to help someone to read the books. Or in Braille, with me maybe more complex because like you just touching, you feel the Braille with the whole books. But I think there's also letters, words on the books, right? Because it's for those who not blind but deaf. Yeah. But I think about the third or fourth of Yamaku's libraries either in Braille audios. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salaries, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they wait so much. I wish I could quit the job. A very awkward silence follows these revelations of too much information. I go check the house then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, you go. I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spine of the books in random orders, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the commuter from the room I had tea with Lily snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisles and find a collection of texts set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the ordinary students sitting at the desks, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It was her! There she is. There she is. So, in the store picture, illustration that it looks like she has blood on her face, but the visual novel illustration is feels like she has mark on her face. So I don't know what happens to you. I don't know what happens to you. Like, I want to know more about you. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of wires in my head. And she could float slowly but surely towards the surface. And before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take my seat and lay my book beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not a half. It's pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn into the scars, subconsciously picking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I'm shocked and divert my eye to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only making it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Alright, let's save because we have a choice here. I feel like let's introduce my names to her, but at the same time, okay, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. Yeah, my heart startled earlier today. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind a book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. I watched that movie! Wait. I watched that Hollywood movie. It was a good movie. Is it based on the book? It's about the man set sails on the small boat with the tigers. That movie is awesome. Highly recommend. People who haven't watched Life of Pi, go watch it. So sorry again for starting you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from a book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it is barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impressions of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say that that's a nice name, just to keep, just to have something to say, but really, it's the only thing that I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check this book if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and the introductions of the book. I pick up and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak picks at her flowing hair and the scar is hiding. After a while, I realize that she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in Life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive, although it talks around like a scared rabbit. And when our gaze finally meets, the Jen's reaction is unstoppable. Oh God, what are you trying to do to me? She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I got to go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes up and runs towards the counters. Her hair take off catches me so up guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I'll burst the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had some scar on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her. Sure, I just hold onto this until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I have to explain that to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her again and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I just looking for some books and then she got this fit and ran off. I also apologize for starting her. The most offended thing I can think of was that I might look at her general direction a few times. But she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. And she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder, it's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just a norm around here. Everyone has their own problem or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko features looking like she wants to say something to that but resisted it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily. Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko feels the silence by shoveling some paper around. People who have paper on their decks really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenience for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from my side, the beanbags where Hanako and I was sitting, and returned to the corners. Return to the counters, not in the corners. I keep saying corners instead of counters. Well, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I kind of just started reading book to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else. It just checks out my book for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I throw my pocket for the keys to the door. A sudden sound from behind startled me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying for all the keys that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? Oh, Genji, God. He weirded me out. I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Genji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light gleaming off his glasses in dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lip nervously. Who is me? I don't know why anyone calls me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strange and quick. Yes, but we met before, yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I tried to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we have met before. You live across the hall, you're Genji. Genji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How did you know my name? Dang, this only means one of two things. Either we have met and you're telling the truth and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything though those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do you know that? I'm not mind readers. Kenji points the fingers in my face damningly. Unlike you. Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can pass as his out because I'm legally blind, you're sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at the distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by his shoulder and shake him. Aspirated. I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still. At least he's assaulted me physically. Although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Dang, it really you. Saying again, and then once more again, for good measure, I step backward just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know, just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid thing actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. I'm not like we had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, that's how it is. This world, there is no justice. You see, even when I lose, I win because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't really matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally, literally too. She actually ran away from me. Was my phone really? I think I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute, that's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face, I guess it could go either way. Oh, definitely she was cute. Don't be rude. Except just in case. She was cute. Yeah, cute I guess. I knew it. Now there are a lot of cute girls here, strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets in this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secret. Extremely dark, like black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60% or 40%. He turns his head to the left and stares off into a distant nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the strained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that is full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a mainstream, but no. What am I about to tell you could blow your mind? Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting it out now. No, I am not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case that this Cold War turns hot, they will have a superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the internal wars against the force of the feminists. They are everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60% 40% split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by the hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up of the military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is bad, and the country itself is more and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They are so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come that when Kenji voice cheers up ominously. That is why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then end you. Just as they end me, you will end up just like me. Heck no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what the heck does that mean? You say it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So you're not supposed to say something like that. That's so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, past feminist conspiracy. Stop. I lost you way back there somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow? It's cool, I have some crabs and stuff in my room and puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Okay. Crabs are still cool though, right? Then he speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hand in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking about it, it's like to be the last sane man in the insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in the insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal my dream. What the heck? There can be two last sane men. It would invalidate that whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in that foreign movies where there could only be one, and in the end there is only one dude left, because that was the point. I have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my grasp. I also have a list of all the dogs and complex conspiracy that this school holds. As Tango asks. Quick, finish my analogy for me, be a pal. I'm going to bed now, it's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you, and you seem like a cool dude. I dislike you. Sorry, Genji. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later, she claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly. It's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homeworks. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. This school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony! One would think that fitting in a place like that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing up my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected though. This place really is more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye in seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. And we have eye catches again. Next day. I feel very tired of this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have the answer for them if they do, so this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't seem even comments on her lateness. He does, however, start to say that we are going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see that Shizune and Misas are looking at me. Shizune gives her a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now, there's no escape." They really want me to join the student council that bad, huh? Hichan, it looks like we're together again. Yay! Oh god, they getting close. Misa leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There is really no escape now unless I was to jump through the window. Jumping out of the window isn't the best option, sadly. What's wrong, Hichan? Oh, Hichan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Hichan. We were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Right? You two girls are definitely scheming something. I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be. Now that's over. Shizune snapped back into a serious mode and smacked today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only two problems. I almost want to say something about her rush. How her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same levels of ambitions. Oh, there she is. There's Hanako. While I'm reading, I let my eye wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hands at solving the problem. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is understandable. Hey, that girl over there. Who's Hichan? Her Hanako over there. Does she always work alone? I think so, Hichan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone? I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something. No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hichan. Why not? Hichan wouldn't get along with her. Oh, that's why. Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a sigh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lifting up and down quality present in everything she says. Just because Hichan. By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been saying everything she has been saying this whole time. Oh, she angry. What, Hichan? The friends of my enemy is my enemy? I thought it's enemies of the enemy is friends, and now the friends of my enemy is my enemies. That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that. You say it anyway. I know, Hichan is fine with you over here. I wonder if this Misha's ways of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand things Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that so also why she signs all the time, so there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hichan. Poor Hanako. Let her work with us. Please, let her have friends. I know Hanako is shy, but we won't harm her. We finished with time to spare, and I decided to ask her if there are any alternative to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sends Shizune and Misha's arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurant or downtown, so I don't think we had time to go all the way there. And what about the bills? Are they arguing just for fun, the fun of it? Maybe they seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her note from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging decks, the one with actual box lunch mixing and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels that I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class of her own accord? I see her looking over her shoulder towards the classroom door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned the page since I started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. What to do? What to do? Save. And yeah, let's go talk with Hanako. Why not? I still feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I better say something. Hey there, Hanako. Sao? Well, at least she remembers my name. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I just new here and thought I should get to know my classmates. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from close up. That's okay. It was my phone. Now that wasn't anyone's phone. It just kind of happened. So are you waiting for someone? I saw you looking at the door before. Yes, Lily. Oh, you mean Lily, the blondie girls? The blind girls? Hanako only nods in response, and I can't help but wonder if in defining people though their disability is a forced pass of the worst kind or just no more here. I guess that explains why Lily took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends? Yes. As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now. No, that's not it. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here. Or because it's hard to get around the classroom? Not really. Hanako gaze drifts past my shoulders and towards Shizune. Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense. Shizune and Lily not getting along well. Communication between the two would be all but impossible. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through missiles, even when you can't see whose hands are talking. Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I'm the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door. Lily, Hanako, good morning. Is the president here? Yes. Hanako glances over her shoulder to ask Shizune again, as if to confirm that she can't hear them even though that's impossible. I suppose we best be off then. Lily sighs and told what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. It's intriguing, but that's not really something I asked about. I'm sure if they wanted me to know, then they would tell me. It's only my third day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's a little funny to find out that this school has little feud, just like my old high school. Even if people are more tolerant than others. Even if people are more tolerant of others, they are still going to get on each other's nerves. Hey Lily, how's your thing? I'm sorry I made you run up yesterday. Oh my, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were here. It seems that Lily is a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me. Sorry Lily, I thought you realized. No, it's alright, Hanako. Hisao, please don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding. You can say so. I'm still working this place out. Right there, I think you will find most people here a lot more forgiving than elsewhere. If you're feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions. Sure, I remember that. Lily gives a small nod of acknowledgement. I'm sorry, Hisao, but it must be off. Hanako really doesn't look all that comfortable here right now, and Lily still seems a little embarrassed. I wonder if my apologies really make any impact. May I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it, but Lily, quietly, still smiling. I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can we, Hanako? She looks at Lily, then at me, then she freezes, wide-eyed. Sure. Well then, shall we go? Sure, Lily wouldn't do this so easily if she saw how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is still would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave or take it together. Lily walks up beside the wall, letting her again gently taps against it every now and then. Hanako, not Hinako though. comes along right beside her, so close that she is practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corners of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of the steam train. Hanako shrieks a little, and my vision briefly goes black. Ouch! Uh-oh. Who are you? Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. Okay, I don't think I am allowed to use that as a thumbnail. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Ouch. Well, she does, but they're not flesh or bones. The pales and very much flesh and bone ties and in shins and feet, mixture of some black and metallic or plastic-like materials. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl swishes a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Oh man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic in a hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I couldn't forget about being angry or anything since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. Oh god, what happened to your heart now? I said that, but there's a stinging pain growing on my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, and don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. It seems normal. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried high-pitched voice of the girl snapped me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds and dumbfounded. Until I realized that I probably look worse off than I really was. Double over myself and look all tense. Then I overly worry about my heart. No need, I'm fine. I calm. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my soul drips one last time and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me big time, but it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you very hard. It's okay, I say I'm fine. I was fine, and nothing broken, no harm done. That's good, I was. Lisa, what happened? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reason, but she sounds very worried, more than what the situation is really. Someone just bumped into me, nothing serious, just winded. Sorry, it's my fault, I was just going to get some stuff, and I was kind of hurry. There's someone here. It's Amy, isn't it? That little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic and metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi Lily, Hanako. I guess the girls know each other's. Please try to be more careful. You might be steady enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling. I know that. I was just... I gotta go. Teachers will have my head. I promised to have with the printout, but I went running instead. Sorry, but I gotta change everything. Before any of us saying thing, Amy has already rolled it away, leaving the hallway eerie quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamaku than usual for running in the corridors. But that really stopped Amy, it seems. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads up along the hallway and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two used for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily is busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both the lunch boxes. So is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Guess Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reaction to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. And Lily being able to come some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily's poured the tea for us and sit down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're perfect for to Misha and Shizune. The illustration is so good. I cannot stop like show image and later I decide which image would be good for the thumbnails though. Alright, let's return. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're perfect for to Misha and Shizune. Even without no voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I ever met. So how are you faring in Yamaku, Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again, and being crashed tackled outside my classroom, fine I guess. You look pretty hurt before, are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing, I was just being startled. Judging from the two girls' expression, I don't think they're buying it, but in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matters. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here, don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious like Hanako's, they're still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitory when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right, since high school. So you know each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lived next door to me and it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably the reason enough to be friends with them. Though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well. I can imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scores. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bell are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'll be better off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Yes, I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is dedicated to the point of breaking it look in the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too. But I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then, class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her can. Hanako and I fling out before her. We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns toward me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part way, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make up to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looked up at me and opened his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lectures. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seat, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique student of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbook from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way that he teaches is really bizarre, it's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left with wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teachers. Vito is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with the red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he noticed me and followed his bow. What is it, that guy? I jumped at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing, thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on pens he's holding and arranges his paper into the stack, cracking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? I'm considering joining the club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go to summer meeting or someone else's clubs might pique your interest, I guess. I don't know how to continue from here. Vito looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take a walk back to avoid the conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, there are other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'm being isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about. The disability is like, it feels like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them. It needs me to ignore them. Dang it, I do, dang it, I don't. The teacher scratches his cheeks asthmatically, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficials. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako, it's not like you can ignore the face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom is suddenly slamming open. Teachers! Misha crashing in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the pass away from the graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto visibly dismayed at the interruption and Misha's in general slumped in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops her in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something wrong but has no idea what. Yes? We had talked about volume control before. Yes? But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is distressed. She wears a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood is always a problem. Last time we wanted more and there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there is none left there, so do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Shi-chan, I mean the president thought that the teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in the great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't care at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at the man being tortured by drilling his skulls open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. What should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You have to pry them from his skull, pass away hand, but that's a different matters. I don't have time, we're so busy. She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as is possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples a note that she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly. We're hot expression as if trying to say go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hee-chan, you're really nice. She pauses, does a double take and then points at me with her finger, yapping, and looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what Hee-chan's doing here? Class is over, you should be having fun. We just have a little chat. Oh no, it's not a detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan? No, I'm not. Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. My mother sighs deeply and I feel that I have to have missions to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's the list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it and hesitating a bit. I say I helped you, but this has no implication on whether I'm joining the class or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We are in store building strict now. We must hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teachers looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't start so smoke. Looking at the list with the number of the items ranging from paint to plywood, or written with small knitting handwritings, that is undoubtedly seasonal. I have a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving a long list limply at the teacher, I exit the hallway. The classroom closest doors are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side. Each door looking exactly the same. Further down in the corridor, it's still with the identical doors or rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? There's and chairs all around the room. The thin layers of dust settle on them. There are some easel in the corner, so at least this looks like a right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from a big window, shadows creeping over the desk. The speck of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I go into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eyes and I stop mid-sentence. I swear I don't click that. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy uniform with a fork between her toes. Oh, a morsel of food stuck from me on her end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner very still, but I still somehow took her as a part of a furnishing or statue at first glance. I'm not being so observant today as a whole, because simply to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit or in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think of if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the word clock ticking rhythmically. Hello? The girl stopped the fork in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello, I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival store, I think. I didn't think there was someone here. There isn't, that's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant, I guess it does, but who are you? This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai Hisao. I just transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin, Tezuka Rin. Tezuka. Tezuka Rin Tezuka. I'm just gonna call you Tezuka Rin. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Japan's manners of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hand or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I will mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch, school already over for the day. What would you use then? What would you use then? There is no wood for a meal when you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you are supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious box lunch would go a waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picked up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside, you look fine. Is your problem inside? Yeah, the heart. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing, better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. First, in front of this issue again, I haven't even told anyone up here about my condition, or maybe it's only because I hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to seasonal circumstances or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition would be. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mass of dark shadow on her other side. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, and like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I make real back even physically, as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I speak out the first thing that I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Mia. I said more like a bloody owl, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glows at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you, just I collect people and person with, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. So you just like going around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, resumes our lunch and the conversation passed away. But I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition, or the other people have either known about it already or heard about it someone else, or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of the introduction, or is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disability would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has a natural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opened to study Rin from the corner of my eyes. Her hair is burned outward, almost orange and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She is not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seems like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb orbit within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this size could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for such things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of these strange girls. So do you always eat alone in this late? Or do you get the occasional visitors? Visitors? Maybe you are my first occasional visitors, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I even a certain person on the roof if she's not horsing around. Horsing? And she likes to do sports. Oh. That's all I can think of to say. Both of us for silent again as Rin forks the last bit of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my hoard and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice of you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you are going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch the girls sleeping? I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I catch you around, Tezuka. You can go me, Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine, then I'm his out. Then you are. Rin looks at me harder in the eyes, but that's the intimidating feelings you get when someone stares at you is there. It's like she actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times and I can't figure out why a pause like this just pops up between us out of nowhere. And see you later, he's out. There is something like a tiny smile there in her face maybe. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside I hear a muffled sing-song voice. I heard that. Oh god. What did she hear? Oh my god, Misha, you got me startled. I jumped at the sudden appearance of Misha, who had not heard the opportunity despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance on me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Genshi's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. And you too, Shizune. Shizune standing slightly behind Misha looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited. I'm not gonna lie, her soul covers the screen. Her soul covers the screen. Wait, more importantly, who is in there? There's no club meeting today. She tries to curiously pick up past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyways. What are you doing here? It took so long we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, Hichan. Then she wags her finger at me scoldingly. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you're tardy. Sorry, I got the things here. Was I just going to bring them? I think you were up to some mischief, Hichan. Who was in there with you, I wonders. Misha sang something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ears a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths and adjusts her glasses and slams her door shut, turning to signs furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny idea about the reason of my tardiness. Hello? Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door and takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with half interested, half sleepy face. Hello? Miss Tezuka, what do you think you are doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for just disgraceful activities? It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issues. Shizune taps Misha's shoulders and points at Rin and makes some quick signs. Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how is your project doing? How is your project going? Will it be done for a festival? Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressures of Shizune's ghost stare is putting out on her. I keep wondering about that myself too. And the thing about it harders. As Misha signs her replies to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It will be disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up then launched onto it. Rin nods assertively. But think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't. Not even after its translation. Shizune is serious. Maybe like because it's a student council, so student council's students has to be very serious to other students. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me and takes off with Misha's in towel. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duels. How rude. It's true though, I must finish my project before the weekends. There will be a dire consequence if I don't. The end of the world as we know it, like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to an unforeseen future. I'm about to ask her what projects she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This pen can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She kicks lightly at a huge can of pen that's lying on the floor next to a table she was sitting and sipping on. I let sound do clang. Being a gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Why do you need to take it? You need to take it away. Okay. And with that, she takes off to the hallway. Me and the pen can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quite empty now with Shizuna and Misha gone, so we do lead towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. It shows on beside me with an uneven pace that I have no trouble matching, or maybe I'm walking weird because of my extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. Two flights upstairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Ah, Mr. Nagai. What a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There is something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wake up impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handles moving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about the interruption either. It's about your medication. Since you haven't been that long on your current medication, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosage or even changing to another kind of medication. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headaches, anything, and come see me if something happens. Alright. So how are you? Everything fine? I guess I dropped the cans up to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my bicycle handles. But to say something generic as an answer, but then I realized how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too, teacher and student here, my parents, visitor, nurses, doctor at hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much at school. Except this school. This is a small school and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's a feeling I'm getting. And this is not kind of school that gets transferred students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine and I give a generic answer anyway. That's great. Also, one other thing. My source tells me that you've been at neither the school tracker nor even the pool, so I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should be running my ad on the tracker since the very first day. He had people spying on me. Not such, I just happen to know a few people, but that's not an issue here, so don't try to slip out of it. Where I was actually just doing some improvised weight lifting as an exercise. I picked up and lift the can up and down a few times like some sad imitation of a bodybuilders, even though it's weighing down on my arm painfully. The stupid grin disappeared from his face for a second, then come back like it was never gone. Tezuka, would you give me a second? The nurse grabbed me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and dragged me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm putting down this harder on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you sleep and postpone, the harder it will be. It's the same with everything like dieting. Yeah, that's how important rehab is going to be. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Maybe. Oh yes. Oh, I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna go it for this episode. We managed to meet all the girls, all the characters of this visual novel so far, and it totally makes sense why Rin had to wear the pants uniform, because using her legs. Having a skirt uniform is not a good idea, because using her legs to lift up and lift up the fork and eat her lunch. Welcome to the boarding school, welcome to the special schools for disabilities. And yeah, I hope Hisa will get used to life here and continue with his studies, and hopefully I won't get to choose which girls that I have to fall in love with. But anyway, Nature's storyline so far, I really like it. Art styles, feel rotoscopes, I absolutely adore, and sound effect and soundtracks are awesome. And I would highly recommend people to go on Steam and play this game. This game is free, don't worry about it, I'm not gonna lie. And feel free to leave the comments down below what do you think about the games, but don't spoil ahead, alright? I know nothing about this game. And if you enjoyed this video, give this video a like, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!